What time? Hold on, y'all. I got coffee already. I need to get some water. Hey, y'all. I'm not gonna do that. Hola, hola. And I didn't even do what I said I was gonna do here. Hey, y'all. I had to go get me some water, but I didn't fill my water thing up. And so, wasn't no water in there. Hey, hey. I had to take me a nap, baby. I ate me some chicken salad and went to sleep. Was asleep, got up, took me a bath, talked to my dad about some things. It's just not working. Whatever. And that's it. That's all. Ooh. Did y'all do y'all homework? If not, that's fine. I really just be wanting y'all to look over it and try to get y'all used to seeing things that maybe you wouldn't have seen in the scripture before. You know. And I probably won't be on here tomorrow because I am going to go ahead and I'm not going to get rid of both desks right now. I'm going to get rid of this one. And I'm going to build a shelf that goes over here, which is going to take all this stuff off the floor. It's going to let me take all of these extra books off and put them in. It'll open this space up a little bit and give me a little bit more leg room. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Because I can't keep tripping over stuff in here. I don't got OCD, but sometimes I feel like it when it comes to like, because I can't move around and I don't like hitting my toes on stuff. I do not like hitting my toes on nothing. So, hey y'all, I'm going to be playing Bob the Builder tomorrow. Everything need a place. Everything. Probably do it about 34 inches tall. No, thank you. Hey, y'all. Y'all done recovered from the last 2 days or y'all still in the infirmary? Y'all still over there in the infirmary? Everybody, y'all done nursed your wounds? You ready for round 1700? Huh? Y'all still over there nursing your wounds, huh? I know that. And they playing on TikTok. TikTok, we see you. The hot seat. Come on. You missed the last 3 classes? Girl, listen. What's going on, user 24630? Can you please get a name? Make me feel like I'm talking to cellmates and stuff, calling folks about numbers. Get a name on there so we know who you is. Please. I feel like I'm walking down the C block or something. I need to call you. And you at the door. It's AJ. Oh, you on your other phone. Oh, okay. What's going on? I'm like, see, that's the stuff I'll be talking about right there. What's going on, AJ? Now, y'all got me talking. Feel like I'm talking to computers and stuff. 813 or something. I don't know. Hey, Joy, look at what does it mean to prepare an ephod? I'm not gonna lie and say I know just right now, but I did study on the ephod in detail, and I would have to get back to you on that. I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't have that answer off the top of my head, but I did study the ephod, and I did study all of the things about the priest. If I were to give a just off the top of my head answer, I would say preparing yourself for the priesthood. So what are different things that you would do to get ready to deliver God's message and to be the mouthpiece between him and his people? Well, you have to fine tune your ears. You have to, still your spirit. That's actually what this is called. It's so crazy. So just stay around, AJ, because what I'm about to read about might help you understand. I'm gonna need y'all to stay out my business. What we gonna study today might help you understand about preparing to be that middle person. Because the priests have a lot of responsibility. The priests now don't take it serious, but a person that is really going to wear the mantle of God and to put on those things. He told you to ask me. Okay, well, an hour ago is when I was about 45 minutes ago is when I decided what we're going to read. So let's talk about it. Just give me maybe about 15 minutes, get into class. You'll need your sacred text today. Y'all gonna stay out my business. I was in the tub and just thinking like I do. When I'm in the tub, I think, but the bathroom is, I'm a Pisces, so that the whole water thing is real. Even though the horoscopes, I don't read them or nothing, but certain things just be crazy, and water calms me. So now big bodies of water make me feel not so happy because I have a fear of big bodies of water because I can't control that. My feet have to touch the bottom. And if they can't, I better be in a life-size something. Oh, your birthday the day after mine. Oh, yeah. So you live in between two worlds a lot. It sucks, doesn't it? Trying to be as normal as you can when you live in the spiritual world 90% of the time. Yeah, you got to be around people that don't even understand the spirit. You be like this. You were born in 67. Okay, so you older than me. However it works. It's a difficult process. It is. It is a learned process to live in between a lot. Pretty much your whole life. So you have to find your medium for sure. Because, baby, them dreams and stuff don't be no joke, man. But anyway, so, I love y'all, and I'm happy about this growth that you all are having. I am. I see y'all growing leaps and bounds. And it makes me happy that you all don't care about crying and getting ugly and getting down to the nitty gritty so that you can be better as a person and closer to what God wants you to be and not what you want to be. It makes me excited that you guys are growing because you all are. Leaps and bounds. And the fact that you're willing to let God do surgery on your heart is a thing. You hear me? Most people won't let God change them. They complain to him about how their life is horrible, but when he brings the situations that are supposed to chip away at the old stuff, you said, thank you, my stomach is jittery. You know we feel stuff like it's happening right now, even though it ain't happened. I ain't gonna say all of us, but some of us do. I don't know. I mean, you've been here a while, so you know how long I've been here. I mean, you've been here a while, I'm guessing, and you see, even like with all of this that's going on with the impox and the rise in certain things, I was feeling that in February, like it was happening right now, and I was like, yeah, nah, I need to hurry up and get back to the house, and I'm not gonna be going anywhere I can feel it. And God kept telling me, you know, don't travel and things like that. Somebody, I don't remember who, please do not get mad at me. Oh, it was Isabel. She posted, did y'all see that they're already putting somebody's school, as of yesterday, they already caught a case of mpox and they're going back to remote learning already. Y'all seen that? But y'all seen that? I don't know if they already shared it. I believe if I didn't, I'm going to. But I think I did. Did y'all see it? No? Oh. It's already school systems going to remote learning because they got a case. Singing homeschool with my tambourine. Chinga, 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 ching. Already. Yep. They already going to remote learning. I said, well, there's that. That's what I started coloring the other day. You'll want to have some of these for when you can't go outside and you want to just steal away for a minute and not think about anything. Because could you imagine what it's going to look like if 1 in 7 people that you see are covered in monkeypox? Could you imagine the sight of that? Would it feel like a movie to you? They already filtering comments. TikTok, we ain't even been here 15 minutes. No, thank you. Huh? Y'all quiet. Hello? Are y'all here? Hey? Right? The internet is slow. Okay, so I'm not tripping. I was thinking that too. I'm getting ready for bed, beloveds. Good night. I said, would it not feel like a movie to y'all if every 1 in 7 people that you saw had boils on their skin? My internet acting up too. We know what it is. We already know what it is. Did y'all see what they said about the new Ford trucks coming out? I reshared that for the niggas in the hood, because niggas in the hood love them a Ford. You might want to reconsider the 2025s. I wouldn't get one if I was you. Y'all seen that? Hey, y'all seen it? It's gonna take pictures. Like if you in a high-speed chase from the police, it's gonna take pictures. It's gonna send them your location. It's gonna tell the police and it's gonna alert the nearest police next to you. Your car goes to snitch on you. 4 trucks. In real life. Look it up. Yeah. I say, yeah. Always been a Chevy girl myself. Always been a Chevy girl myself. You hear me? What? Y'all gonna do what? Look it up. So niggas in the hood, if I was you, that is not the car that I would get. Because they going to be telling your location everywhere you go. Not that they don't do that already, but it's a built-in feature. Ain't that crazy? I said, boy, that's worse than Tesla cars ordering parts for themselves. No, they don't. They order cars for themselves. What? Not that you're gonna remind me that you getting raggedy. It's bad enough when the light come on. Now you gonna spend my money for me? What if I ain't got it? Y'all too high tech for me, honey. Y'all is entirely I seen a video about a passport having chips. Yeah, they been having chips though. They been having chips. Just like your license plate been having chips too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're driving a Tesla, you should have the money, right, Auntie? But I don't know that everybody do. I can't speak on nobody money, but I don't know. Because people will buy a car and won't buy no food. They'll buy that kind of car and be sleeping on somebody's floor. So I don't be knowing. You can't go off just the car, you know, Auntie. You know that. They'll rather have that car than have a bed of their own. Or live in the car. Right. I don't know. Sometimes that ain't my feeling to think like certain people. Anyway. Please be using your mask if you can. As much hand sanitizer as you can. Sending the kids. Make sure to tell them don't be touching nobody else's stuff. Keep their hands to themselves. Because I don't want no parts of it. It looked like the Back to the Future car to me, so that's why it ain't really. Mm-hmm. But it don't run like the Back to the Future car. You said, oh my God. Oh my goodness, people coming sick around here in Orlando. Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? Y'all heard what she said? Huh? Y'all heard what she said? You hear good and bad stuff about it? Mm-mm. I knew I didn't want no electric car, baby. Because what if I'm at a place where I can't find no charger at? Mm-mm. You know, I can tell the people that bought Teslas probably never watched a Cannonball run. That's how I feel. I ain't knocking nobody. I'm not knocking nobody. But I feel like you never watched Cannonball Run. You couldn't have. And if you did, you didn't pay no attention to what you need to get up out of here just in case something's going on. Did y'all watch Cannonball Run? Huh? Anybody? And is that showing my age? Y'all ever watch Cannonball Run? Let me tell you. When I was in Georgia, I got some of that pineapple shea butter. It be smelling so good on your skin. It smell like a soda. You hear me? It smell like a pineapple soda, and I only use it on my feet. But baby, every single time it smell like pineapple soda around here. It's so fragrant. It is like, it's nice. I know that's off the subject, but if you can, find you some pineapple shea butter. It's amazing. And it's a good smell to go to sleep with. Because you know when you wash your covers, whatever smell is under there, it's coming up. Right? So pineapple is a nice smell. It's sweet, but not too sweet. It's fresh. Yeah. You said I feel like that with my candy apple lotion from Bath and Body Works. Yeah, that it just, and it's not like orange or lemon. It's nice. It really is. I think y'all should check it out. So with that, be mindful. Keep the kitties safe. No, thank you. Keep the kitties safe. And, you know, try to steer clear of big groups of people, I would say. Anyway, those is just my thoughts. I'm not going to be on here long, so probably till about 10 o'clock because I need to move all this stuff around. So 10 o'clock and then I'll lay down. And so I can get up early and get this stuff done because I don't have to build it all tomorrow though. I could just, but I do need to move all of this stuff. Anyway, y'all want to read something with me? Hi. Hey. I got my honey nectar and I love it. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna give y'all a minute. I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick before we start, and then you just need your Bible Gateway today. I mean, not Bible Gateway. Sacred text. We're not gonna be in no book. Sacred text. So you can lay in a bed if you got your phone or your iPad or the whatever, you know. All right. What's it? Y'all ready? I need y'all to go to the book of Jasher, chapter 3. Book of Jasher, chapter 3. Please. Y'all hear me? Because I'm not going to be on here a super long time. Probably an hour and a half. Because I want to get this moved around. Yeah. Let's go. It says, and Enoch lived 65 years, and he begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after having begot Methuselah, and he served the Lord and despised the evil ways of men. And the soul of Enoch was wrapped up in the instruction of the Lord. The soul of Enoch was wrapped up in the instruction of the Lord, in knowledge and in understanding. And he wisely retired from the sons of men and secreted himself from them for many days. What does that mean to y'all? Oh, excuse me. What does that mean to y'all? When you read that, what comes to your mind when you read that? It is this room. I might have to get a stronger thing. Maybe this little one isn't gonna do it. I'm gonna have to get a big one. That's probably it, because my allergies. Isolation. He went into hiding. He went off grid. He just didn't do a whole bunch of running around and running with folks. No. I mean, I'm not going to say that he wasn't fasting. But for the most part, only one thing he wanted to do was learn more about what God had to say. And you got to think, God sent angels to him all the time. Could you imagine? Three times a week, somebody comes from God's face to your face and tells you stuff that God want to tell you. No, he was still on earth at this time. right? Could you imagine somebody knocking on your door and you know for a fact that this person, this being, just left the realm where God is, and they are being a messenger in between you and God? Are you getting this? Hey, Kayla. Are you understanding? Not just something that comes to your mind, not watching CERCA on YouTube or whatever. No, you know that when you open your door, that this person literally just left God's presence in heaven, however you get there. And every question you ask, God was sending Michael or Uriel or somebody to answer. What? No, you don't want to be around regular people. You want to stay available for the heavenly host, so this person that ain't talking about nothing ain't in your way. I guarantee you would not want to have small talk with people if you are literally communing with God, and as soon as you pray, somebody is knocking at your door and you know for a fact that this being is not human. The people on the outside can't see that, but you know. You don't want to just be around regular people all the time? Heck no. You'd be like, yeah. Okay, I gotta go pray. It's divination. There's nothing to feel about them. You go to God and ask your future. He's the only one that knows it. Because he gave it to you. He's the only infinite being. He's the only all-knowing being. Here we go. And it was at the expiration of many years, while he was serving the Lord and praying before him in his house, that an angel of the Lord called to him from heaven, and he said, "Here I am." Y'all remember me telling you for like 10 years, I didn't get to go out. I didn't really get to go to barbecues. All I could do really was read and take care of my kids. Study, pray, read. Study, I'm talking. Study, pray, read. Study, pray, read. That was it. That was all. For over 10 years, I had to do that. People would invite me out of town. They would invite me on trips, all kinds of stuff, to all kinds of things. And God would say, "Have a seat." He took me away from people. Even though I was in the midst of them, he took me away from people. And every day was about journaling and writing and understanding the word and looking up stuff and studying and asking him questions and him answering them in real life. About everything, not just about the Bible, about life, period. Like everything, business, everything. My question is, will you sit still long enough for him to tell you? A lot of y'all act like kids. You ask him for something, and then as soon as he say yes, you start jumping in place and won't sit still. And then if he didn't say he was getting ready to do it right now, you start whining. And then you start saying, but you said, but you said, but you said. He said, I didn't say when. I said I'll do it. Oh, oh, nephew. Yeah. Sorry. Already, huh? Okay. Well, so if your kids do you like that, there you go. That's me trying to learn patience. Oh, oh. It's the truth, family. I'm working on it now. I'm guilty of that. Oh, amen. It's a real thing. Nah, he don't get tired of none of us as long as you trying. But would you get tired of saying the same thing over and 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 somebody is constantly asking you to do something for them, but they ain't did one thing you asked them to do, or even giving you time to get up to do it? Would that irritate you? Would you ignore them after a while? Huh? I had to learn to appreciate solitude and fall deeply in love with him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And had to. And that's why I be like, I be wanting to date. I be wanting to talk on the phone. I be wanting to do a lot of stuff. But baby, not to give up this. I can go to sleep if I want to and don't gotta be irritated. I don't know if I want to give that up. Yes, I want some triceps and biceps to smell on. But baby, or be trying to do it myself, then be mad in the end. Oh, nephew, you didn't take the challenge? Was that challenge last week or this week that I told y'all if you was up to it, you get up every morning and get up 30 minutes before you're supposed to be up and go sit in the same space every day and get your journal. And instead of telling God what you want, wait for him to talk to you. He'll tell you a song. He'll tell you a scripture in the Bible. And so y'all ain't been on y'all challenge is what y'all telling me. Hey, y'all ain't been on y'all challenge. See, y'all don't want none for real. Y'all don't want none. Y'all don't want none. If you do that for 14, you said, yeah, nah, I ain't see that. Oh, okay. The challenge is you get up every morning 30 minutes before you're supposed to be wherever you got to start getting ready to get in the shower. And you meet God in the same place. So you pick a spot in your house where not where you're going to interrupt the kids or the wife or whoever if they're sleeping. And you go there. As soon as your eyes open, get up, brush your teeth, whatever you going to do, get your coffee, whatever. And you go there. I don't care if it's out on the porch or where, if you got a basement, I don't know what your house allows. And for 30 minutes, if you got to put your headphones or whatever, put your headphones on so you don't wake nobody else. And you go there and you wait for God. Don't go talking. Just put some music on and wait for him to talk to you. And what I mean by that is let the songs minister to you. And on your paper that you have right there, you ask God to ask you, ask him, what do you want me to do today? Things will start to come to your mind. Do it for 14 days. Get up and wait on him. He been waiting on you. A lot of times when we commune with God, guess what's happening? When we are talking to God, we're always talking. It's a one-sided conversation. Good evening, Joy. You hear me? And then you don't really wait for him to respond. You said I knew you was finna say. I'm just giving me something to drink right here because I feel a little something. Moving on. Come on back in here. All right. And he said, rise and go forth from thy house and from thy place where thou dost hide thyself, and appear to the sons of men, in order that thou mayest teach them the way in which they should go, and the work which they must accomplish to enter in the ways of God. AJ, you heard that? So first, he had to get away from a whole bunch of people and not be around people a lot. Then, he had to devote himself to prayer. And not saying you got to be super spiritual, but if he didn't have to go, he didn't. And his free time was spent trying to understand what God wanted him to do. And then a visitation happened. He said, all right, you didn't have enough time and study. Now it's time for you to go teach what I taught you. And all the information that I gave you, it's time for you to regurgitate that to the people. But he had to be in a space where he could hear clearly what God was going to say. Because when you are the mouthpiece between God and his people, it is a very... it's a very dangerous place to be. I was going to try to clean it up for y'all. I'm not. It's dangerous. Because the moment that you try to step yourself in God's place, he'll do some crazy stuff. The moment that you start speaking out of your heart, he'll flip your whole world upside down. Or unalive you, because now you're going to lead all his people away from him, or away from the way that he wants them to go. It's a very, very, very delicate place to be in. So God has to train you, I believe, so he don't have to hurt you. That's what I be feeling. Ooh, I'm talking. I love y'all, but teaching the class right now. Okay. We just gonna leave it. All right. And Enoch rose up according to the word of the Lord and went forth from his house. Ooh, I know he was like, oh, I don't want to do it. From his place and from his chamber in which he was concealed. Who remembers me telling y'all God tuck me away quick? And people will be looking for me in the daylight with a flashlight. And I'll be right in the midst of them, and he won't let them contact me or nothing. And when it first started happening, it used to scare the hell out of me. Because I didn't understand. And I would be trying to... it was weird. In real life. I used to be like, I'm in prison! This is crazy. I want to get out of here. Oh, man. Then when I had to go out, I was like, it's too peoply out there. I don't want to go outside anymore. Listen, crazy. Mm-mm-mm. It says, and from his place and from the chamber in which he was concealed, and he went to the sons of men and taught them the ways of the Lord. And at that time assembled the sons of men, and acquainted them with the instruction of the Lord. Okay, so he got all the people together, and everything that God taught him, he started teaching it. And he ordered it to be proclaimed in all places where the sons of men dwelt, saying, where is the man who wishes to know the ways of the Lord and good works? Let him come to Enoch. And all the sons of men then assembled to him, for all who desired this thing went to Enoch. And Enoch reigned over the sons of men according to the word of the Lord. And they came and bowed to him, and they heard his word. And the Spirit of God was upon Enoch, and he taught all his men the wisdom of God and his ways. And the sons of men served the Lord all the days of Enoch, and they came to hear his wisdom. And all the kings of the sons of men, both first and last, together with their princes and judges, came to Enoch when they heard of his wisdom. And they bowed down to him, and they also required of Enoch to reign over them, to which he consented. And they assembled in all 130 kings and princes, and they made Enoch king over them, and they were all under his power and command. Now, who do we know some of these people, these kings and these judges, were who? Some of the angels, because the angels were the judges at times, and the giants. The giants were the kings. King Og of Bashan, and this king and that king, right? Now, how do we know for a fact that they even went to Enoch? What book tells us that that is the true statement, that when they needed to understand the dreams that they was having, they went, and it says they took a cosmic journey and flew, because Enoch was in a hidden place. They flew with their hands. The book of the giants. The book of the giants. They flew with their hands to go see Enoch. They flew with their hands, put their wings out, and was really, back in these days, they flew to see Enoch, to see what was going on. And he was hidden somewhere, or just everybody didn't know where he was at. And it took a while to get there. Right. Okay? Everybody was going to him for information. Everybody had questions for him. But he had to steal away so that he could instruct every living thing, not the animals, of course, but because even the fallen angels' children went to Enoch for information. Why they didn't go to their daddies and their mamas? Their mamas was witches and warlocks, and their daddies was... Why would they go to God's holy man to get information? If there was wizards and warlocks, because there was fallen angels on the planet. There was teaching men all kind of stuff. So why didn't they go to them? Interesting. Here we go. And they assembled in all 130 kings and princes, and they made Enoch king over them, and they were all under his power and command. And Enoch taught them wisdom and knowledge and the ways of the Lord, and he made peace amongst them, and peace was throughout the earth during the life of Enoch. And Enoch reigned over the sons of men 243 years. And he did justice and righteousness with all his people, and he led them in the ways of the Lord. And these are the generations of Enoch, Methuselah, Elisha, Elimelech, the three sons, and their sisters were Milcah, Naamah, and Methuselah lived 87 years, and he begat Lamech. And it was in the 56th year of the life of Lamech when Adam died. So when Lamech was 56 years old, Adam died. You think Enoch talked to Adam? And Eve? And the first set of kids? So by the time 910 years had passed that the earth had been up and moving around, when people could still go back to the first person and ask them about what it was like to commune with God. He was still here for 900 years. So however many people that were conceived in 900 years could go back and talk to the first man that was not born out of a womb, the first woman. For over 900 years. That's a long time. And the different races of people and the different groups of people had spread out so they could go back, right? They could go back and talk to him. He was still here. That's why I say, like, if you look at the timeline in the Bible, it make it seem like he was gone and then, no, these people could go talk to him. He could tell them stories about when it was just him and Eve, and then him and 20 people, and him and 50 people, and how the earth looked, and all of these different things. He could tell them. How many people do you think were born in 910 years? When Adam and Eve had 53 or 63 children, they own self. And if each one of those 50 kids, right, 25 couples or 30 couples had 50 kids, and then those, do you see how quickly this could happen? So by the time Adam was 400 or 500 years old, he could have had people was living 900 years. That you can have a lot of kids in 900 years. If you had 100 kids, say you had a kid from 100 to 200 every year. And then you waited till you was 500. And from 500 to 600 years, every year you had a kid. You still had 300-400 years left. How many descendants would you have if you had 200 kids in just three generations? I know because my grandfather had, they saying 52 children, 50 to 52 children. And when we did the math, it's already at like 1,000 descendants that he has. Because like each one of his kids had 4 or more kids except for only like 2. So that was like 200 grandkids. And we all had 4 or more. So 200 times 4. And we're all grandparents now. Our kids are our parents. From one man. So if he had 200 grandkids, and each one of them grandkids had about 4 kids, that's 800 great-grandkids, right? That's 800 great-grandkids, right? Am I doing this math right? 50 times 4 is 200, right? Right? Am I doing this math right? Okay. And then we all had about 4 kids. Some of us had more. Some of it, the least amount is like 3. There might be a few cousins, like my little brother, and I got 2 other cousins that didn't have none. But we just rounded up for the ones that got 8 or 9 on the other side, okay? So I'll give it 750 great-grandchildren. And our children have already started to make children. My daughter, I had 3 grandkids in less than a year. In less than a year and a half, I had 3. And I got other cousins that are younger than me that have 5 or 6 grandkids already. You see what I'm saying? Okay. When I say I come from a big family, that is not a joke. My granddad said he wanted his name to go on forever. That's what he said. He was still trying to get the lady pregnant, like when he died, the lady he was with. That's what he said. He said he wanted his name to go on forever. And he tried to make it happen. They still finding kids. That's why I have to be careful who I date. Because he was a truck driver. He had families all over the place. In real life. Several families. A lot of them. Yeah. No, for real. Like, some of my aunties and uncles could have dated each other. It was a sister and brother that almost did. And a few first cousins, too. In real life. Could you imagine going on a date with somebody, taking your brother home to meet your family, and they like, whoa, y'all ain't did nothing yet. You know, you just met them. That type stuff. Yeah, in real life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's why even here, I be scared today here. Because they say he used to be up here all the time. I'm like, oh, no. And I done seen some folks that look like my uncles, too. I'm like, yeah, nah. Mm-mm. You look like my cousin and my brother. Nope. And I'm sure that there's kids that he fathered that he didn't, you know, they might not have his last name because the lady might or whatever, you know what I mean? So, And they said, my uncle told me, he said he was always up here. I said, really? Darn it. You said that's every family. Listen. And then to know that whole distant relative DNA makes you find them more attractive because they're your family. Most of the men in my family is blacker than black, baby. Big and black. You hear me? Big and just big and black. You want to know how CERCA like them? I mean, I'll take a light skin. But if they big and black, baby, listen, that chocolatey stuff, yeah. So I definitely got to be careful. Like them with a full face, you know, the rounded head and all of that. Yeah, So I got to be careful. Because it could easily be a cousin that I don't know of or an uncle or something that, because my granddaddy got, my youngest uncle is only like 3 years older than me. Maybe 4 or something like that. I didn't know my father's side, and I almost dated my first cousin. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And this, I be scared for people that don't want to claim, like guys that don't want to claim their kids. Like, you're not thinking about later. You're thinking about right now because you don't want no girl to be mad at you. But these kids, if they're living in the same city, they could possibly end up at the same school. And because you don't want to claim them and she gave the baby another name or something, they could be attracted to each other because they're sister and brother. And that's why not claiming your kids or not really going to see can be horrible later on. I almost dated my cousin. In real life. In real life. In real life. So when you don't claim your kids, you might get away with it now, but what happens if your son brings home his sister? Because you didn't want to claim him and you know who his mama is. Right. That's why that's a scary thing to play with. You don't play with stuff like that. That's definitely a thing because that's what he said to me. You look like we can be related. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you. I already told y'all my story. It was a singing group. And they used to be the talent show people. And I just thought he was the finest thing, honey. I was like, oh my God, when we would go to the talent shows, everybody screaming and this and that. And one day I was riding my bike. And that young man was outside. And he was like, hey, come here real quick. I'm like, hey, you that dude that be singing in that group. You hear me? I'm 12. But you know, they the little 15, 16-year-old boys that's singing and dancing in the group. This was the 90s. Okay? And he said, what's your name? And I told him my name, and I'm looking at him like, this guy is the cutest thing ever. He said, hold on one second. That nigga ran in the house, and a whole bunch of black folks just ran outside like, couches. I got ready to take off. I'm talking about grown people, kids, everybody. And do you know everybody in the house had my same face? Every person that was in that house had my same face. My real dad was in that house. That was his sister's house. All my cousins was there. Now, mind you, on my mama's side, I don't look like nobody. I do not look like, you would not even know I was kin to my family on my mama's side. On my daddy's side, you know every last one of my family members because we all look alike. So imagine never really seeing nobody that looked like you and then having a crush on this guy. Come to find out he your first cousin. Your mom, your daddy and his mama is brother and sister, same mama, same daddy. And all these people run out the house and they got my same face. My same everything. Boys and girls. Old people, young people. I said, so you know when I went home to my mama house, we had to have a conversation. I might have been 11. I think I was 11. I wasn't 12. I was 11. Because I was still doing the little Pop Warner cheerleader stuff. I was 11. So I'm 11 years old. Could you imagine feeling alone in your life or feeling like you don't fit in nowhere, and then this whole thing happens and you find your whole other family? But had it, my cousin have not had the sense to say, damn, this girl look like us. I think I might know you. You don't know us, but we know you. And my auntie came right outside and was like, yeah, that's your uncle such and such daughter. Your daddy in the house. I said, my daddy is at home with my mama. My daddy, what is you talking about? My daddy is in the house. What? I was nervous. I didn't know these people. I didn't know if they was telling the truth or not. But it used to be a man. I told y'all when I was 5 years old, it used to be a man that used to stand across the street at our neighbor's house. I used to play with these people's kids every day. But it was this man that used to come visit them, that used to stand on the other side of the street. And when I would be outside in the yard, he would just be sitting there watching me like this. He would sit in his car and watch me. Right? And it used to make me feel weird, but I used to be like, I don't know. He over there, visiting them people. Okay? One day, it was right after Christmas. It was snow on the ground and everything. I'll never forget it. I was sitting outside. I had my little 80s snowsuit on, and I had got a tea set for Christmas, and my mama's OCD. You can play with it outside on the porch. So my mama's husband at the time was home with us. I think my mom might have been at work. And it snowed out everywhere, and the man is out there. So we had the Power Wheels truck, and that was a big thing, driving on the ice in the Power Wheel or whatever. So I'm out there, and when I'm out, like coming back, or I was playing, I was playing with my ice, whatever it was. I was out where he could access me, right? And there was no adult outside. And he walked up to me and he said, "You know who I am, right?" I said, "Yeah, you the man that be across the street at my friend's house." He said, "No, I'm your daddy." That nigga said, "Nah, little mama, I'm your daddy." And I freaked out and ran in the house and told my daddy, "Daddy, it is some man outside. That man that be across the street He said he my daddy. Now, did he know? Of course he knew. The reason he knew is because he was sleeping with my auntie. I look just like the auntie that came outside and said, yeah, that's his daughter because he was cheating on my mom with my real dad's sister. Yes, he knew exactly who I was. CERCA is a whole Maury story. Yes. Yep. He was cheating on my mama with my real auntie, with my real dad's sister in real life. And I look just like her. Ooh, baby, listen here. And was got to be more careful. Yeah. So the man that I thought was my father was not my father. And the man that was my father used to be across the street from the house, one of the houses that I grew up in. And he was friends with our neighbor. No. No. My mom was pregnant and she didn't know she was pregnant. The doctors kept telling her she wasn't pregnant. So she got with her husband, right? And kept feeling pregnant, like, excuse me. Excuse me. She had basically quit dating my real dad. They probably hooked up maybe or something. You know how you be not really messing with nobody. Y'all ain't together no more. But maybe you sleep with them that one time. You know what I'm saying? That last time. And so she had already started dating my brother's dad, right? And she said she kept going to the doctor, you know, and they kept telling her she wasn't pregnant. Like my dad was going with her and everything. They kept telling her she wasn't pregnant. Well, I didn't show up until she was like 5 months. On the urine, blood, nothing. I was not showing up. Thank you. So she had already started dating my brother's dad, and then they got married, right? Yeah. I didn't show up till my mama was that whole, what is it, what do you call it? I didn't know I was pregnant type thing. That was my life. Yeah. So I've been hidden since conception, and as you can see, nothing has changed. Right. Right. Yeah. I don't. No, I was just. She kept. It was like I don't know. It wouldn't show up. She said you didn't show up on the sonogram. I was peeing on sticks, taking blood. They kept telling me I wasn't pregnant. Yeah. So then there was that. Yeah. Yeah. So I was one of them stories where they didn't see the kid. That was my life. They kept telling her she wasn't pregnant. She wasn't pregnant. When did my mom tell me the truth? Well, so I've always been a very like attentive kid. So stuff used to happen. Like we would be in a grocery store and people would walk up to her and ask me, is my dad's name such and such? Yeah, it's whatever you said is got cut off, Brandy. You know what I mean? So different women, we would be in a grocery store and I would hear different people ask my mama, is her daddy, is she kin to such and such, this person, that person? And she would get an attitude. Love her, but she would, and she would tell them they need to mind their business. So I knew something was up because it never happened with my brothers. You know what I mean? But when they got divorced is when I really understood that who my dad was, and then I met him. I mean, like I said, at 5 he came and did that, but then at like 8, 7 or 8, like I actually like went and spent the night at his house or whatever. Yeah, until you... Oh, they told her she wasn't pregnant until you came out? Yep. It's a real thing. Yeah. Yep. That's why I be saying, like, and then as soon as I got here, the enemy started trying to take me out. I was getting bit by... I got bit by a poisonous spider, swelled my eye up, drug under the merry-go-round, was in car accidents. My hand got cut open when I was 2. My hand got burned when I was 2, cut open when I was 3, or vice versa. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a real thing that some people got. Yeah, I'm a real life Maury, for real. In real life. But that's why it's important for you too to it's important for you to, one, make sure you stay in God's face, and be upfront and honest about the things that you do as far as having these kids and stuff, because it could be bad later. You know what I mean? And sometimes it'll be, you don't even know it's already been happening, and it'll be too late. So men and women, you need to be honest with your children, because especially if you're not going to lead a city, but that don't even mean nothing. That part. You said, she said G was yours. That part. It's not even about you. It's about your generations when you're not here no more. You know? In real life. In real life. It's a real thing. Mm-hmm. So you think about that, and you think about just being different altogether. Not feeling like I fit in. I don't understand my ancestry DNA report. Or like, what's something to consider? I don't know. I don't know exactly what you mean. My grandsons found out that they have another sister, and she looked like the middle boy. I'm trying to tell you. And most times they be in the same age range, which is really scary, because most guys, if they're cheating with 2 women at the same time, and you already know if he didn't been with them for a while, certain things are not going to be used. So a lot of times these kids be within weeks and months apart. They're born in the same year, which means they're going to graduate the same year. They're going to go away to college the same year. All of those different things. If you don't move away, there's a huge possibility that they're going to be a wild at college, and you kept them away or moved to the other side of town, but they all going to school together when they get in high school games and stuff like that. Like, people don't think about that stuff, but you need to. My step-grand announced at the table before Thanksgiving, and I'm the stepchild. I have twin brothers, and they are 3 days. Wait a minute, what? Excuse me. I have twin brothers and a sister, and they are 3 days apart. Oh, I already know, honey. My son's father. You ain't got to tell me. Baby, he kept like 3 women pregnant at one time. I went through one round of that because I didn't know the deal. I didn't go back. He always had 2 or 3 women pregnant at the same time. He always had 3 to probably, because a lot of them was having twins. So yeah, 3, 4 babies born every year for like years and years and years and years. You said ancestry has brought out some skeletons in your closet. My sister is 6 months older than me, right? Your current husband's first kids is a month apart. See? My baby daddy has 2 other kids the same age as our 2-year-old. You know what? Hey, better, hey, better, sweet. I guess we didn't hit everybody else this evening. Bing, 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 bing. That's the softballs in y'all windows. So we all got drama, whether it was you or your children. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Understand. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, at least we know we not alone. No wonder God had you talking about no more sheets. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And just think, I read that at 20 years old, y'all. I got hit in my throat with that at 20, 21. My mama gave it to me for my 21st birthday, but it was like 2 weeks before my 21st birthday. So I was 20 when I read that and watched that video and listened. I was messed up. That's when I went through the process of having to burn all that stuff that man gave me because I didn't know he was a whole dang warlock. Doing incantations in my house. Leaving things in my house so that he could astral project his spirit into my home. And he was getting it on with the homeboys and stuff. I didn't find this out until later, but yep. In real life. Ugh. My brother said that too. He said, nigga, it feel like you in a movie. I said, right? Right? It feel like I'm in a movie. It feel like I'm in a movie, right? Right, a real one. Yeah, it was crazy. It was from California. And he told me, that's when I told y'all, he told me about the club Garden of Eden. And I mentioned it to a chick who at the time she was playing, she had like went to the, anyway. She said, that's the weirdo club. And I said, what you mean? She said, nah, that's where all the stars be. She was like, it's. Now, mind you, she was one of the first women that I knew that married a woman. When you could go to Hawaii and have the civil service or whatever it was, which was a big deal in Phoenix. Everybody was flying to Hawaii to get married and all of this kind of stuff. And so when she was telling me, I said, well, weird, like what? And she was like, man, nah. She was like, it'd be some weird stuff going on in here. Like, weird. Well, it was like Diddy party weird. But I didn't know. He used to wear this necklace all the time. It just had a regular circle on it. And there were things that, basically rituals, and he would buy me a gift every day. So he would bring me something every day. Every day he would buy me something. I don't care if it was a little flower, if it was, he bought, every time I saw him, he was giving me something. Right? Food, whatever. Just every time I see him, money, whatever. Every time I see him, every day. If I saw him 15 days straight, 15 days straight when I saw him, he was going to have something for me. Well, my kids started having these crazy night terrors where like they wouldn't sleep. They had to sleep in a bed with me. Like they terrified. His spirit showing up in my house. And I could not understand. This is when I told you I woke up and that spirit was on the side. Who been watching Evil? Anybody been watching Evil? Okay. So y'all remember the story, and I told y'all that when we first got on here, when I didn't even know the show Evil was a thing. I told y'all the story about how he was in California for a weekend, and I was in my bed, and I was laying in my bed, and I felt my bed, but he would come in and out of town because Arizona ain't no. It was used to be like a 45-minute flight. So I feel my bed go down like somebody that laid in a bed with me. And he had a key, so that ain't nothing. He fly in town, he's coming to my house. I feel my bed go down, and then I feel my bed like level out. And I always slept with some kind of light. I got some night lights in my room right now for this reason, but even before this. So I look up and I'm rubbing my eyes, trying to focus my eyes, and I say his name. I said, baby, is that you? Now, it was my boyfriend's shape. It even had the cornrows he had and everything, how his muscles was and everything. But when I said the name, and he was perched on my bed like this, like a bird. If y'all... He was perched on that little rim of your mattress like this. Y'all can't see it, but I'm up on my knees and my feet is like this. And he was watching me like this sleep. And I said, I was like, baby? I was like, is that you? And he said, I'm not such and such. I said, Jesus! Right? And I saw this spirit make an A-line to my kids' room. At that time, I only had 2 kids. My son was 4, my daughter was 2. I didn't yell. I was like, Jesus. Do you know, at that moment, my 2 kids, who were 4 and 2, ran out of their room screaming, something's in our room, something's in our room, something's in our room. I don't know no kids that have the same scary dream at the same time at 4 and 2 in the middle of the night, and it just left my room. I got my kids in the bed with me, and I kept oil on my high bar, so I didn't even get off the bed. I stepped over, grabbed the oil, and just started slinging it at the door, poured it on the floor around my bed. But this is also the apartment that my 2-year-old, who could not get down our steep stairs during the day, I told you I would wake up and she would be at the door. Like she was trying to get out. She could not get out. She could not crawl down the stairs backwards or get down the stairs. She would always call for me. But in the nighttime, you do it in the complete dark? How? And you could tell she would be messing with the lock. One time I woke up, she was laid in front of the door. I went downstairs for something, and my baby was in her diaper freezing. She had laid on the concrete thing right in front of the, like the little linoleum thing in front of the door. Like she had been trying to get out the house. And I'm like, how do you keep getting downstairs in the dark and you can't do it in the light? In real life. In real life. This was 1999. No. Yeah. No. 2000, 2001. Because she was born in 99. Yep. Yep. That's crazy. Crazy. In real life. Same thing that used to happen to me. I told y'all my mama would wake up and I would be under my bed. And I wouldn't know how I got there. I would wake up under my bed. Like, it used to be crazy. I used to sleepwalk. All of it. Yelling in my sleep. Night terrors. Because spirits used to be around me all the time. Yeah, they used to be around me all the time. That's why I believe little kids. When they tell me something in the room, I believe them. Because you just can't see it. But kids will tell you, it's a monster. It's a monster right there. Him is mad. It's a monster. It's a monster under my mommy bed. It's a monster. Girl, ain't no monster. It's a monster. And he teeth, they look like this. And he hair. And he green. And he is mean to me. And him make me scared. Like, they'll tell you, they'll describe the demon to you and everything. Kids and animals will let you know when something is present. I'm trying to tell you, my mother had to put in extra locks on our door because my sister sleptwalk, always heading outside. Trying to tell you, this is how a lot of kids come up missing. If you seen Insidious, it's exactly that. That spirit get up in them babies while they sleep, while they're not unconscious, but they're asleep. They possess people. They got old people that can't walk during the day, but in them old folks' homes in the middle of the night, they be in a catatonic state. Don't they be up walking, but they can't walk in the daytime? Who done worked in an old folks' home and swear up and down them people can't do nothing, and then you look up and they be standing in the hallway? You can't walk in the daytime, but you up in the middle of the night looking like this, standing and walking and talking? You said, oh, right over me. I'm trying to tell. You trying to tell y'all. They call it sundowners. Okay. And who come out at the nighttime? Y'all read the Hours of Adam? Be in a wheelchair all day. Listen. Normally, your kid ain't scared during the day. They only be scared at night. Sometimes they be scared in the daytime. Sometimes they'll walk past something, but for the most part, that's why they call them night terrors. Y'all be making me think about stuff sometimes I do not be wanting to think about. Worked in a hospital when a lady was in the elevator but was bedridden. My shift would end at 10. It's the last chapter of book 1. It's the last book of book 1. Yeah. We moved because of a malevolent spirit in our apartment years ago. I'm trying to tell you. People do not believe that spirits attach to places. I do not move nothing in my house without going through every room and opening the doors and telling whatever it is that they don't have no power there. I sat at the door. I opened the door with oil on my hand, honey. I don't need you to show. I asked them, can I please go in first? This is the person that's showing me my apartment, my house. I don't want you to go in with me. Can I go look for myself? You said you got organ donor removed off your license. Good job. Shadow Man got you one night. I'm trying to tell you. This is the thing. You gonna start doing what? You have got to pray over your children, y'all, at night. You have to. Spirits is real. They made Monsters, Inc. And Monsters, Inc. tells you exactly what they do. Yeah, they can follow you to other homes and yeah. That's why kids be running down the hallways and stuff like that. They always run past a certain door because that spirit be sitting in the door and they can see them. But Monsters Inc. showed y'all exactly what happens. Doorways and windows are portals. They always either say they see something outside. My oldest is 24 and still says the prayer I taught her. I'm trying to tell you, it's a real thing. Why do y'all think we look into stuff like this? I don't stay away from thrift stores. But you got to realize it could be cursed before it ever even leave the store, the real store. Don't be fooled by just because it's new, it's not cursed. Because if you go look up most of the symbols and stuff on y'all clothing and stuff like that, like Balmain, Baal is king. It don't matter if it's new, if it has demonic insignia and stuff on it. It's just as wicked. Don't matter if it's new or old. If the person that's making the clothing line is a whole warlock, it don't matter if it's new or old. It's still cursed. Period. And if I'm going to have to buy something that got a spirit attached to it, I'd rather get it for the low. I'd rather not spend all my money on it. When we moved here to our new home, my son said he likes it better here. I asked him why. He said, the monster, we pray every night. And he picked up the Bible story at night. Oh, okay. So it was one over there. I had one that stood up and came for me to attack me in the daytime. She has to be. Wow. Yeah, because spirits can inhabit their body, and that's why I don't play with certain stuff. Now y'all see why I'm so thorough about my studies. Who understands now why a lot of the books, even not just the ones y'all sent, but the books that I had, they were on specific things. Your mind, at like abnormal psychology. I need to understand why your thinking ain't the way that it needs to be. Okay. Then I need to understand the spiritual realm. You're welcome. I need to understand the spiritual realm. Okay. Then I need to understand, because if the devil gets your mind, your body is going to follow. The Bible is always talking about be mindful of the spirits that you are listening to. Well, if you don't know how spirits influence your life, you'll never know how to fight off the enemy because you don't even know what the enemy look like. So learning, one, so you can teach your kids, because it's a lot of kids that's taking medicine that shouldn't be because they have the gift to see into the spirit. But their parents don't believe them, and they're like, they're hallucinating. I'd like to give them something so that they can sleep. They're having night terrors. No, they're trying to tell you what's in your house. They are your spiritual alarm system. Because your spirit dang near dead for all the filth you fill it with. You can't see. Because you too busy watching reality TV. So he show your kids. I'm scared, Mommy. I don't want to go over there. Daddy, I don't like them. I don't like them, Daddy. I don't want them to come back to our house. You being grown. No, Daddy, they are bad men. They are bad men. I don't like Uncle Charlie, Daddy. Him gonna hurt somebody with that gun. And then what happened? The person that he hurt is that baby daddy. Don't know that Uncle Charlie then got on some other stuff and he over here scoping the scene and the baby then picked it up. Because babies see spirits. So remember, we just talked about this earlier. Joseph thought this was his brother, but there were 7 spirits that would come to the surface. So he didn't know if he was dealing with jealousy. He didn't know if he was dealing with envy, vainglory, the spirit of unaliving, the spirit of Beliar, the spirit of lying, the spirit of anger. He didn't know who he was dealing with. It was still the same body. But them babies pick up on it. Them babies know you're not the same anymore. This is a different entity in here. It's your face, but it ain't you. I told y'all, my kids always used to tell me about the bad people. My daughter is the one that told me, Mommy, that man will hurt somebody. We went to go get their hair done. And she was like, I don't want to go back over there. Mind you, she was like 10 or 11. She wasn't a young kid. She was 10 or 11. And she said, Mommy, he makes my heart beat fast. She said, My baby started crying. She was like, I don't want to go over there no more. That man ended up committing a murder-suicide. 2 months later, the lady that did my baby's hair, he unalived her and then unalived himself right before Christmas. Like 4 days before Christmas. So exactly, and the lady had been trying to get in contact with me, but I had just finished writing my business plan. I was in that process. I done told y'all this story. And I was like, I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to get back to you. And God kept telling me to talk to her. And I wouldn't make time because I was on my business plan. And then I saw my friend on the news. And her children. They woke up to their parents both gone in the next room. Baby girl was like, I think 3 or 5. And the son was maybe 10 or 11. Maybe 9. You hear me? We didn't go back to her house because my daughter was like, Mommy, he's a bad man. And he was. My son had a real imaginary friend, right? And they be spirits manifesting themselves to your children. We couldn't, my kids was not allowed to have no imaginary friends. Nope. We don't do no imaginary friends. You can only have friends that Mommy can see. Nope. And if somebody comes that Mommy can't see, and you know Mommy can't see, you tell them, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You cannot have no friends that Mommy can't see. I'll be right back, y'all. Nope. No friends that Mom can't see. Ooh, I don't know who this is for, but thank you for telling your wife about that other kid. Somebody tonight made the decision to go ahead and tell their spouse, baby mama, their wife, that baby is theirs. And God is going to bless you for that. That's what I just heard in my spirit. I don't know who that's for. But if you watching on the outside or whatever, God is going to bless you for telling her the truth. He is. He's going to bless you for telling her the truth. So I don't know who you is, but he going to bless you for telling the truth. Just understand. I know it's hard. I got them too. I don't know who it is, but listen, excuse me, he going to bless you for telling the truth. It's going to be hard, but you're going to do it. You made the decision, and that's good. I don't know who that's for, but I'm happy you went on and made the decision. He got you, but you got to tell the truth. Yep, you got to tell the truth because that baby deserves both their parents. I know people be like, I don't even know why I stopped on this lady live. I don't know who that's for, but you gotta tell her the truth. Sketty. But it'll work out in the end. It might seem a little rocky at first, but gotta do it. He will. Crazy. That was for me. X has a secret child on the way, and I keep having dreams. Nuh-uh. I told y'all. All right. Well, come on through there, Dad. That's crazy. I'm telling you, I was in the bathroom. I'm like, what? They made the decision to tell the truth. Ooh. I was so happy to see. A 45, 47. A boo 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 boo. Listen. Also dreams he shoots me in the head. Okay, so then you just start anoint yourself. Anoint yourself and don't be getting on his nerves. Leave him alone. Just leave him 45, 47. Thank you. Just don't antagonize the situation. Let God do it. Don't say nothing. Just leave it. And let God work. You hear me? I definitely will. But just don't say nothing. Let God speak for you. Don't antagonize the person. Nothing. Just leave it. Just leave it alone and let God do it. You don't got to be rude. Matter of fact, the kinder you be, it's going to work out for you. TV, he was arrested. Okay. 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 I don't know if you live in an apartment or wherever you live, but you need to anoint all your windows, all your doors, the whole frame. Okay? Take your oil and go over the whole frame of every single window and door in your house. If you have a house or like a townhouse, get you a bottle of oil, pray over it, and pour it all the way, like go all the way around. God gonna give you the words to say. God gonna give you the girl. I done been in that situation, honey. Nigga been stalked. That's why I'm scared. I'm like, no, I can't date nobody because you don't be crazy. When I meet you, then you be crazy. Talking about wanting to take my life and stuff. What is wrong with you? Why I can't live after I know you? Why I gotta be afraid for my life? No, I'm scared. I'm gonna just stay over here in my box. Be wanting to put your hands on folks and stuff. No. I'm scared. Oh, no. I'm gonna stay right on over here. Mm-mm. I always got to go because you, what? What I do to you to why I can't breathe? What's wrong with you? Why is you outside my house? Why is you over here? What is you doing over here? Mm-mm. And that's why I'm scared to date. Because people are not normal in their minds. You hear me? Was you here for class earlier today? If you wasn't, you need to go read the Testament of Dan, the first chapter on sacred text. That could have been for you. Was you here in class this morning or earlier? When it was talking about anger and how it don't see you as a loved one and it be trying to unalive you? Performed witchcraft, put 2 gold screws under the bed in the shape of an X. Oh no. You gotta anoint your bedpost. Oh yeah, baby, you're going through a real spiritual battle. You need to read this book right here. You can download the ebook, I think they said on Google. Baby, I know because a man took my socks, honey, and I ain't been right since. You hear me? I don't know. I keep wondering what the hell you want them socks for. I'm joking about not being right, but I ain't never not thought about nobody that much. Now, I ain't saying it's no spell or nothing on me, but definitely that soul tie is a little strong. But you need to read this book right here. Please. Like now. I want to read this. Hold on, Buttercup. Y'all gotta hurry. This book will teach you about spiritual warfare and how these spirits hop in and out of bodies. Can I? Can I read something to y'all? It is, Kissy. It's a very good book. Can I read something to y'all? Okay. Here we go. The high priest and high priestess wore identical robes. The robes were both of a black satin material, the same style as my own, trimmed with red around the hood. Down the front, and around the edges, down the front edges and around the edges of the long full sleeves. Each was tied at the waist with a golden cord. Their feet were also bare, as were everyone else's. Each carried a scepter about 3 feet long. The high priestess wore gold. At the top was an inverted cross with a serpent curling around the handle and up onto the cross. The high priestess scepter was of the same design but made of silver. The scepters were carried reverently in the crook of their arms. Their presence was commanding. Their presence was commanding, and I became aware. Oh, slow down, girl. Okay. Their presence was commanding, and I became aware, really, for the first time, of the tremendous power they had, and I envied them. There were many heavily armed guards at the meeting, both inside and outside of the building. This was my first attendance of a real cult meeting. All the rest had been games of play and show. After the opening remarks, I was taken forward to the front of the altar by 2 guards. I and the others were introduced to the congregation as new members, anxious to join. The high priest first centered his attention on me. He said, "Brothers and sisters of Satan, we bring you this child," this one called Sister Courage. That was my new name. "We bring her to you, for she has asked to become one of us. And now unto our Lord and God, our Master, the Master of the universe, and also the Destroyer." Now, I'm just reading this, y'all, because this is the book, but I don't, that's not what I feel. "Satan, we say, this child, Sister Courage, we give unto you to do your bidding, to be what you want her to be. We have promised her, as you have given us the word to promise your blessings." Now, this is the Satanic Church saying this. I was then given a knife to, prick my finger with, but I refused to do so. Instantly, one of the guards brought a whip down hard on my back, causing me to writhe in agony. But I was determined not to bow to them. With a flick of her hand, the high priestess signaled the guard to stop beating me. She spoke in a voice dripping with disdain and said that there were much more effective ways of showing me my error. I watched in amazement as she and the high priest took up positions on opposite sides of a large pentagram drawn on the floor in the middle of the stage. The pentagram was drawn inside of a circle, and a black candle sat at each point of the star. With merely a wave of her hand, the high priestess lit all the candles at once without touching any of them. Then she started an incantation, the high priest joining in with the chant. The audience also chanted, sound like a concert to me, at certain points when directed to do so by the ringing of the little bells. Suddenly, the pentagram was engulfed in a whoosh of smoke and blinding light. The room was instantly filled with a foul odor as of burning sulfur. A huge demon appeared in a physical manifestation in the center of the circle, flames surrounding him. Don't this seem like how they be coming up out of them circles when they be on stage? When they getting ready to perform, it's always a pentagram or some kind of circle with symbols. And it's always smoke and like flames. They'll do the fireworks and all of that, and then they appear, right? And they always show their shadow to make them look like they real big, and then the person be small. But the shadow behind the person is massive, right? Okay. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, he was huge, about 8 feet tall. He glowered menacingly at me, weaving back and forth. The high priestess Grace turned to me and told me that if I did not obey and sign the contract, that I would be given to that demon to torture until he finally unalived me. That was enough for me. Excuse me. Never had I felt such fear, but at the same time, I lusted after the power displayed by Grace, the high priestess. I was determined to become as powerful as she so I could get the revenge on those people for all that they had done to me. When I signaled my willingness to sign the contract, 2 women came forward and placed a black robe over my white one. The black robe was made of a cotton material and was of the same design as the white one. The black was a sign that I was no longer a novice. I took the knife offered me and cut my finger deeply. Then I dipped a quill pen in my own blood and signed the contract with my name, stating that I was giving myself, body and soul, and I'm sorry, they write this weird. That I was giving myself, body, soul, and spirit to Satan. Immediately after signing the contract, I was engulfed in an electronic charge of energy which surged from the top of my head down to my toes. It was so strong that I was knocked to the floor. As I lay on the floor trying to recover, I realized that Grace was doing another incantation. I struggled to my feet to find that she had called up another demon. This one came down to where I stood and told me that he was going to live in me. Roman, Sasha Fierce, Usher's alter ego, old boy that's always crying on the internet. He got a whole album or whatever called Alter Ego. Remember, she said, I don't know, somebody conjured him up and now he won't leave. Someone conjured him up and he won't leave. This is conjuring. Slim Shady. Okay. Okay. This one came down to where I stood and told me that he was going to live in me. The monitoring spirit. He reached out and roughly grabbed me by the shoulders before I had time to say anything. Immediately, I felt agonizing, searing heat go through my body and smelled sulfur strongly again. In the midst of the agony, I passed out and knew nothing more until I was roughly loaded into the van for the return trip to camp. Ain't this what it sound like would be happening at the Hollywood parties? They pass out and they wake up back at the hotel, don't know how they got there, but they body be in pain and they don't remember. But it's only after they walk through the door of fame and fortune that this happens to them. And they can't talk about what happened in the parties. Yeah, Hove, we party with weirdos. Have y'all seen that video? The Tom Ford video where they running through with the horse faces on and whatnot? In England with the weirdos, with these very hoods on that I just described to y'all. Y'all know who other video this was in? Rihanna's. When the people dressed her and they took her out of her clothes and put her in that and she went through that portal into another space. But they covered her eyes so she couldn't see. If you read this book, where they took her to, she couldn't see. She was in the back of a van, but they took her from a church. It was supposed to be a church camp. This book is very good. What I just described to you was in that girl video. Here we go. In the midst of the agony, I passed out and knew nothing more until I was roughly loaded into the van for the return trip to camp. By that time, I was so exhausted and dizzy from the lack of sleep, the beatings I had endured, and the lack of food and water. Now, why is it that when people, once they sign that contract, all of a sudden it looked like they got beat up? We know about the panda eyes, but they be having other injuries. while they doing they press release, and all of a sudden all of them then fell into a door or hurt themselves or whatever else it is. It'd be hard for them to sit down. They wearing all these big jackets and stuff. Could it be because they have to cover this up? Could that be the thing? Broken leg in a club as well. Right. And from that moment on, they look different. You hear me? Here we go. Uh-oh. It says that the beatings I had endured and the lack of food and water, that I did not fully comprehend the significance of what was happening to me. How many people say if they knew what they knew now, they would have never been famous? I stayed at that camp for a week afterwards so that most noticeable of my cuts and bruises could heal. Ain't this what happened? They go out to Hollywood for a week and then we don't see them, and they went on this so-called trip, and now all of a sudden they come back and their black eye is healing, or whatever it is healing on them, and they tell her I had an accident, blah, 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 blah. This is exactly what Diddy did to Cassie. He beat her up and then he sent her to Hawaii for 2 weeks so nobody could see her. From what they saying, this is almost what DJ Academics is getting accused of as well. And a few others. Cause this is what they said was going on, and what's the two men in a kid move? What's his name? Remember, he had all them women, and he had the sex dungeon down there, and it was just whatever was going on, and they were trying to make sure everybody in there was okay. And then the R. Kelly thing. This is the same dungeons, y'all, where they're being beaten and abused, and they can't leave. And they're forced into things that they don't want to do. But they get money and fame in the process. Ain't this what we seeing or no? She wanted power. That's why she went ahead and did it. She just said it. She said, I wanted that power. Charlie Sheen. Okay. It says, when I went home, I thought and felt that I was now one of the most powerful people on earth. Interesting. I knew that I had power that was beyond most people's imagination. I thought that nothing and no one could destroy me. How wrong I was. I'm going to just skip around right quick. Excuse me. It says, I received intense training in several areas for the next 20 months. They call this artist, what do they call that? I can't think of the word right now. Development. She was in artist development. She had an artist development contract, right? Because they got to teach you what they need you to know. This is when they start working on your body and telling you what to eat and what to wear and how to talk, and you get voice lessons and whatever it is for whatever it is that you signed up. I don't know. signed up for, right? Acting classes. They get you all of these different things. So that way, as you're getting ready to do whatever you get ready to do, you prepare for it, right? Right? A development deal. Okay. I met with the high priestess mostly at her home or at other meeting places where we met off in another room away from the other members of the cult. And we met often, at least once a week. Are we not seeing that a lot of the stars have a high priestess or a high priest that they go to? A spiritual leader type person? And we got like Summer Walker, we found out that, she got a whole thing. It's a lot of them. I ain't just going to call her out. But Lady Gaga, all of these witches, the chick was on Tasha K talking about how a lot of them come to her for fame and, this and that. And the person that used to believe in God, now they don't believe in God no more. They more talk about the entities or this power within or the light and all these other things that don't be God, right? Right? Okay. The contents of my training by the high priestess consisted mainly of incantations. I learned how to conjure up spirits to do my bidding. She taught me how to project and to use the strange power that I had felt within me for so long. She taught me that those powers came from demons dwelling within me. She also taught me protocol on how to conduct cult meetings as a high priestess. It says, I was taught much about Satan, almost all of it lies. I was taught about his power, about his love for me, how I had been rejected by God, how Satan loved me and wanted me to be his own, and about how I had been chosen among all women to be his high priestess. The Sisters of the Light also told me much about the opportunity to become a regional bride of Satan. There are only 5 to 10 regional brides of Satan in the U.S. at any one time. It is a position of great honor and power. The Sisters of the Light told me that they were sure I had the ability to attain this high position. They constantly talked about all the benefits I would gain if I reached it. I became determined to gain that position. The first demon that I actually saw manifested to me in a physical form during that first ceremony when I signed the contract. The next demon I actually saw was the first conjured up demon of my own. As I performed the appropriate incantation, he appeared in a cloud of smoke which smelled strongly of sulfur or eggs, rotten eggs. The whole episode was a very elaborate and very staged type of thing, but he was very real, and again, he was in physical form. He was huge, about 8 feet tall. He had a body much like a man, yet different. He was all black. We have since come to know this class of demons as black warriors. He had fiery red eyes, huge hands, and his armor was really his skin. I saw this spirit before, like one of them. This is what was on my bed when I told you that spirit was on my bed. It was made up of thick black hard scales, something like a tortoise shell. Each scale was about 6 inches square. I knew that this was a powerful demon, and I had called him up just to see if I could do it. As he stood silently staring at me, I told him that I was the chosen one. His response was, I know who you are, and I know that I am sent here to guard you, and that nothing will ever harm you as long as I'm here, and as long as you serve the Almighty Satan, our Lord and our God. His name was Rychan. He fought many battles for me, and when I was disobedient to Satan, against me. So the same demon that protects you from other demons is the same one that will chastise you. I saw and conversed with many demons after that, as my skill grew in being able to see the spirit world. I was able to see and talk with demons without them taking on a physical form. Indeed, I rarely asked them to appear physically except on occasions when I wanted to impress or frighten someone lower in the cult than myself. The next major demon I summoned was Manchan. This was during one of my training sessions with the high priestess in her home. She told me that I was at a point in my training where I must learn and do a very special incantation. She did not tell me the purpose of the incantation, and I did not ask. So just think, I was 14 years old telling people this stuff like, listen, you better be careful. Don't be dealing with certain things because it can be detrimental for you. And this is why in CERCA's adult life, when certain opportunities for me to be in a different space came my way, I turned them down. I done met a lot of people in my life that was like, you would be amazing in blah, blah. I bet I would. No, thank you. And they was in the industry. Basketball players, football players, actors. I done met a whole bunch of kinds of people, honey. And they used to be like, oh, you would love it. No. I already know what y'all do. What you talking about? I already know what go on. And I'm not giving up what y'all got, what y'all want me to give up. No. And look what God did. Still made me world now. And I didn't even have to sell my soul to get it. Sell my soul to get it. You see, it came anyway. The devil was trying to get me to sell my soul for something that was already mine. And I didn't have to. And people still know this face all around the world. You hear me? Look at God. I get to keep my virgin whole and everything, as Cat Williams said. I get to keep it. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Uh-huh. Do you see how that works? My coworker seen someone eyes turn black at the airport. Baby, I see. Yeah, I done seen it. I got to keep it. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jesus. I didn't have to get rid of nobody or nothing. You hear me? It's a real thing. But look it. The devil wants you to solicit the gift that God gave you for free. Do you get that? Whatever God set for you to do, it's going to happen whether you go to the devil and get it or not. It might not just come, in the way you thought it was going to come. But he gets you to sell something that God gave to you, and it's going to be there regardless. Do you understand that? But you can also see when they're not using the gift anymore for God because their voice changes, their music changes, the amazing artists they used to be, they can't sing no more like that because God gave you that gift. And the moment that you sell it to somebody else, now you need all these, what you call them? Machines to make you sound like you used to. You hear me? Their voice don't be the same no more. Nothing about their aura is the same anymore. So they have to do more to stay relevant. When God had already given you that gift and you wanted to pimp it out. For what? And believe me, when I tell you my godmother, she should say, baby, God, the devil be offering you whatever you want. I said, Mama, it show up. She said, it must be something big that God has you to do. She was telling me this 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago. She was telling me this when I was 25. She said, God got something big for you. I don't know what it is. She said, but the devil is willing to give you anything you want in exchange for it. I would say, ooh, Mama, I want such and such. And it'll, do you really? And I used to have to walk away because it used to scare, man, if y'all could talk to some of my friends, I'm trying to tell you. It used to scare the hell out of me. And my godmother is the one that told me, she said, it's something big God got for you to do, because the devil, he just keep offering you whatever you want. He's offering it to you. It shows up. And I look at what I've done in the last 3 years, what God has had me do. I understand now why he wanted me to be in certain situations, because then it would tear, like this would have never happened. You see what I'm saying? When I got invited to California to do certain things, and I got invited to New York to be in certain situations, and I got invited here, and I got invited there, and all of these different places. You hear me? In real life. And sometimes I used to be like, girl, why are you saying no? You just said no to whoopty whoopty wham wham. You heard me? And people used to be like, you is crack, girl. I woulda. And I used to be like, nah. I don't know. I can't. I just can't. But I had read these books. I knew the backside of a lot of that too. So I wasn't really interested. I didn't really care. Like, I'll come and eat your food, but everything else, I'm good on it. I'm good. And now I see why he wanted to offer me those things. I see why the Lucifer was wanting to give me whatever and put whatever I wanted in, because he wanted me tucked away somewhere to where I couldn't do what I was supposed to do. And I end up not taking all that and doing this, and I'm excited about it, you know? In real life. He kept offering me something that God had already given me. God was going to make my name known around the world and my face known around the world. You hear me? He was going to do that. But what I'm known for now wouldn't have been what I would have been known for back then. Those things would have brought blessings, worship to me and not to God. You see what I'm saying? If I would have took those other opportunities, like moving to Georgia and getting snatched and all of that kind of stuff that I had offered to me. You hear me? At 23, offered to be put in certain scenes and all of these different things in real life. But I turned that stuff down. And people used to be like, you crazy. And I used to be like, no, God just keep telling me don't. Like, everything that glitter ain't gold. Like, just be cool. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. And then I would go through a real crazy time right after that. Like, girl, what the hell wrong with you? You shouldn't. God said, no, I got something better. Just wait. It ain't no telling where I would have ended up. And that's why I be telling y'all, I'm grateful that God snatched me by my whole wig, because looking at all that I see now, I had already read about it as a kid, but to see it being played out in real life, and then for me to even be in certain situations around certain people and know the funny stuff that was going on. You hear me? Because everything that I used to talk to people about is out in the news right now, and everybody used to call me crazy. I know the people that I was talking to in my early 20s, telling them all this stuff, and they're seeing it now. They was like, man, you tripping. You always on some. the devil this, the devil that, and they ain't really who they say they are, and this and that. I was like, I'm trying to tell y'all they live a double life. I know they be thinking about it now. That girl she was telling the truth. Yeah, and y'all called me good and crazy. Thanks. It didn't mean it wasn't gonna happen. Cause it all did. It's all coming out right now. You said I can't imagine God snatching up, baby. He'll snatch your whole edges out. I'll be right back. He'll snatch your whole edges out, honey. Everything be gone. Sorry, y'all. I'm probably about to go. I need to start taking this stuff down so when my friend come over here, he can help me do this tomorrow. Well, really, I just need to go get my wood, but I need to draw this out and measure. So I'm about to go because I got carpentry things to do. I need to get my pencils out and figure out how long this is. I'm thinking it's about 6 feet is what I'm thinking. If I do 6 feet and then that's like 3 feet, so I'm gonna make an L like style shape. L style shelf. Probably about 35 inches because this is 36. About 37 inches. So probably just, I don't know, maybe even just 30 inches off the ground will be good. You know what I mean? So I can put all these books under here. And this stuff like can be off the floor and on the shelf and organized. Because it's organized, but I don't like seeing these books on the floor. Plus, I want to take all these books that's in front of those books behind there and have them so that I can, and this is going to open this space up because this U makes me feel boxed in. It's 2 L-shaped desks together and it takes up so much space in this room. And CERCA's back then got a lot bigger, so I'll be bumping into the table and it's not a lot of room in here. So I'm just going to build that shelf. It's just going to be just like this, just a L shape. But then I'm going to take it up higher right there on that side because I have those shelves. So that way that'll open this whole space up and push this back a little bit so I can have some more walking room in here. You know, you're welcome. Yes, because I gotta get this together. I do not like seeing this how your books get messed up, and then even me smashing all my books together is messing up the spines of them, and I don't want to do that. So I need to get everything in place, and they falling out. That hurts my heart because y'all spent good money on some of these books, and I did too. And so no, so we're gonna take care of them. I'ma just build this and bring it out like that, bring it out and up to about right there, and then I can put, get me some baskets for all this little stuff that's up here, for $60. For about $60 worth of wood, you can build a beautiful shelf. Because this shelf was, I think this shelf was $80, and it's 8 feet all the way across. I should have just kept it one piece, but it would have been too big to move. But it go from one end to the other of this wall for $60, and it's 2-inch thick pine, and it's 12 inches wide, so it can hold them big books and everything. So I'm just gonna make another one of those, just on this side, but it'll be an L shape. It's basically gonna be the same thing, but over there and smaller. Yeah, that's the job. And I'm gonna just get rid of this desk because it's lower. I really want to build a desk, but I'm gonna just see how it's gonna go. And it shouldn't cost more than $100 to do all of this, because I already seen the legs on Amazon that I want to use. But I really am thinking that I could just take these legs off and use these legs. You know what I'm saying? On this, I might be able to use this one. We'll see. My son will not go to sleep. He keeps asking why I'm still awake. I cannot sleep. Just pray. Y'all say your prayer and go to sleep. Girl, say your prayer and go to sleep. Staying up ain't about to do nothing. Kids can feel your energy. Stop stressing. Ask God for, thank you. I appreciate that. Ask God for your beloved peaceful sleep and take yourself to sleep. Ask God to encamp angels around your bed, at your windows, and at your doors. Go sleep. Ask God to encamp angels around your beds, around your windows, and around your doors. Okay? And ask for his blessed protection and his beloved sleep, and go to sleep. You're welcome. Finish reading that Enoch. That's going to help you, AJ. Because a lot of people want to take up the mantle, but they don't understand how heavy it is. It's a lonely walk. As you can see, Enoch was by himself for years and years and years and years and years and years. You hear me? I be lonely. And I could choose. I could choose to go out. Y'all listen. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it be hard too, because I'm like, shoot, I'm single, Dad. And I don't got no kids around here. I do not have to worry about nobody knocking on the door. Ain't no family coming. Ain't no cousins coming over. Nothing. But I choose to stay in here by myself. I choose. Now, would I like to talk on the phone with somebody that keeps my interest, even if I don't see them? Yes. Because I'm always teaching. I don't ever really just get to have normal conversations. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, don't say it, Auntie. We gonna need you to not be on demon time, Auntie. She said, I'm not gonna say it today and put up 3 devil faces. Yes, do not. You gonna be permanently in the corner for a week until you gonna be on punishment. You gotta leave it. Get your auntie. She said, I'm not gonna say it tonight. I ain't even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna do it. Get your auntie, man. Get her. Come and put her over there in her chair. Turn the TV on and turn her away from there. She said, fine. Isabel, come get your auntie. What I'm gonna do with y'all? You know what? I'm about to talk to y'all while I'm doing this. Let me go get this box. Lord, these family members of mine you gave me. I thought the first set you gave me was crazy. I don't know who's crazier, the first set or the second set. I don't know what I'm gonna do with y'all. The heck? Crazies? What I'm gonna do with y'all? Huh? Y'all can help me, seeing as how y'all the reason I gotta build another shelf, so might as well talk to y'all while I'm doing it. Listen. Let me ask y'all a question. Now that y'all been here, right? Now that y'all done been here, honey, y'all see me? This one I was skinny. People used to pay me to take pictures with them at the club. I said, do not be telling nobody I'm your girlfriend. You heard me? Excuse me, miss, can I take a picture with you and Ken? Y'all see, CERCA used to be doing her little thug thizzle, honey. And did. That's when I was 25, honey. And was. It was a good time. A good time, honey. Yeah. Cause I didn't know him. And so he was standing forward and I was standing sideways. And he tried to put his hand like on my hip and I put it across, keep your hand where I can see it. And I'm like, he was like this, facing forward, and I was turned side. I don't know you, sir. You can get this picture, but I don't know you. So you need to keep your hand right here where I can see it. You going to the corner, auntie? Well, go on over there. They got your stuff ready over there. Honey, I used to have a great time. That's why I be trying to tell y'all, like, I don't know. I lived a real life with God, and I'm grateful because he kept me safe, not only in places where everything was church. He kept me safe in places like the club and everything else. You hear me? You sent OTPs for whoever needs them. To me, oh Lord. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to tell y'all what happens a lot of times. If y'all send me actual books, okay, those are given out to the people that I run into randomly. Like, I'll keep a set in my car because sometimes it costs more, right? Like, you already paid the $48 for the books, and then I might have to turn around and spend another $35 to send them. So most times, if y'all send physical books here, okay. I give those to people that I run into physically, and then we use the other for that. Yeah. And that's why I be like, don't send them because, through Amazon we get free shipping. So, but I just be wanting to, like, if you've sent books to me, like OTPs or whatever, those get given out to the random people that I meet out that, Okay. But yeah, we still sending out books. There's some people that got books delivered this week. So, yeah. But it just be so high. So sometimes, like, when y'all send me stuff to send, just tell me what you want to send. If we know somebody, then I can just have you send it to them so we're not paying all that postage for nothing. I feel like it's some more markers and stuff right here. I'll be trying to save money, y'all. Y'all know that we ain't wasting no money around here. Oh shoot. Y'all, it's so much stuff in here. Oh Lord Jesus. Well, anyway, I'm about to pack this stuff up. I was going to have y'all talk to me, but I ain't going to make y'all do that. I'm about to pack just this stuff up on this side over here. Put it in the living room so I can figure out exactly the measurements that I need to do for this shelf tomorrow. And figure out how I'm going to get this desk out of here. I love y'all. And hopefully somebody got something out of class today. Hopefully y'all get something out of class every day. Hopefully y'all do. Hopefully you learn something about yourself. You learn something about your life. Maybe your children, family members, whatever. That can help somebody else. You know, not just you, but somebody else. So. What's crazy is that my locks is this long now. That was that good old fall, baby. Put me a roller wrap on that baby, honey. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. I got to play Bob the Builder tomorrow, so I got to get my strength up and move all this stuff around so I don't have to do it once the wood is already in the house. I love y'all.